what it is, man. This is the Green Room. LED and Mr. Gemini on the mic in a warm-up to a show about nothing. Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Green Room.
Hello. Thank you for calling Movie Phone. That's what you sounded like, bro.
Starring your hosts, Mr. Gemini.
Dude, that's fucking dope.
And Philly D.
Are you trying to do the Movie Phone guy now? For action movies, press 1 now.
If you'd like to continue listening, please blah, blah, blah. I totally mixed it up. Anyway, as usual.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, if you notice, missjd did not check in.
That is true.
We are old school solo tonight.
Wait, are we supposed to do it for her?
Clickety clack and fact check of missjd. Is that's the best I got? That's really all I got.
It's a little too nasally, I think.
It wasn't like New Englandy enough.
What just happened?
What?
I heard a noise.
You didn't hear shit, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, now what? You're hearing shit, man.
No, I did just hear something.
Yeah, it's all in your head.
Oh. All right, so we're not supposed to talk about it?
I mean, I didn't say that. I just said it's all in your head. So, maybe you shouldn't talk about it.
Because that was crystal clear.
What'd you hear?
I don't know, it wasn't like a voice or nothing. Don't worry about it.
What did it say?
Not as of yet.
Nah, I mean, dude, I got plenty of voices. I just don't listen to them.
No, it's all right. We don't need to talk about it. It's all right.
I love how for like the first time ever, we're drinking coffee as we start the Green Room.
Yeah, it's
That's funny. And you're not even like riding tonight too.
No, but I'm on less sleep than usual.
Oh, there you go.
And I did do a lot of riding to and from my vacation destination.
That's what's up.
So I was a bit frayed by the time I got home. So
I was afraid. What were you afraid of?
No, frayed.
Yes, I
lacking sleep, running on coffee.
Yeah, I'm aware. I know what you mean now.
Yeah, so it's one of those days.
It's all good, bro.
But I'll be all right. Those are usually the times that I'm a little bit more animated, so we'll see.
I can confirm. Yeah, you not lucid is, but there's like a fine line because, I mean, there's you on like 9%ers where you're hilarious as shit, and then all of a sudden it's just like straight drop. I know. I'm just, why are you being so mean? Because I'm trying to wake you up. I can't carry the show by myself.
And now you're not even in slapping distance.
Yeah, I said that the other episode. I can't even reach you anymore.
You know what I just realized?
Yeah, even if I try to kick you under the table, like dude, it's a distance. It's nice though, dude. It's like,
if you were to get me, you'd probably be like my knee.
I'm not touching any part of you, so it's okay.
It's actually no, but I mean that's just like the Cadillac of tables compared to the Pinto that we just left.
Yeah, dude, that thing was light as shit.
Or maybe,
dude, and the sides on this are like that. They're like a half an inch too wide for us to mount these, and I wasn't gonna like do a physical hard mount. And then I thought about grabbing the old table and just like,
well, we'll be there eventually. You'll have a tabletop kind of like this that's gonna have mount plates like drilled right into it.
Well, I was gonna do that with the other table, but
will travel.
It's just that table's too freaking light that if we go doing anything and moving stuff, dude, it's just the whole table moves. So
it needs some girth.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was like thinking about, even weighting it down and some others. It just, no, not going to happen, bro. So I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Didn't feel it would be prudent. Not at that juncture.
Not at this juncture.
So
So, sound check, warm up before the show about nothing.
I'm warming up with this coffee.
That's where we are. Yeah, sipping some Joe.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, the place up the street, they make their own beans. Well, I mean, they don't grow them, but, they roast all their own beans and pick them and stuff. And they do a really dope coffee.
Oh, I'm not like a coffee connoisseur, but
I mean,
it's dark and it's bitter and it's hot.
I know.
That's pretty much my classifications, but yes.
Well, from being a barista, I got to learn a lot of stuff. also having a palate and having to use it, for food and, beer now, as things are explained and expressed to me about alcohol, like it's easy enough for me to pick stuff up because I'm already aware of something in that capacity and I just correlate the information. So, I'm not a connoisseur, but I know some stuff. I know a few things.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the way that it's like what they're doing, the way that it's roasted, though, right? I mean,
yeah, roasting has a lot to do with it. The temperatures, the length of time.
Because I'm sure fresh Juan Valdez has just as good a bean as anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like. Well, I mean, because I don't know. So I feel like the combination of getting a really solid bean, because I feel as long as you have quality to start with, I mean, same as making like a marinara or a steak or anything, when you're making food, the stuff you start with, if it's already quality, should only get better. But you can but you could certainly mess that up. And also the other way where you can use really cheap stuff that maybe isn't the freshest or looks the best, but when you cook it right, put it together correctly, all of a sudden you got this fantastic component. So it's like,
so they get raw coffee beans,
as far as I'm aware,
fresh picked, like
they
shrink
have
wrapped or.
Well, I don't know that. I know that they literally roast all of their own beans, every one of them. I mean, that freaking roasting house is running 5 days a week, hard. Every time I go by there, they're moving stuff.
And it smells wonderful.
Oh, it does. Dude, the fact that it's right up the street from me. I mean, it's right up the canal. I can walk out my back door to get to it. You know what I mean? Like, and I've done that. I've ridden my bike up there, taken walks up there.
The smell of rich robustness just billowing out from the building.
Yeah, and there's a couple of spots along there because they're right on the canal as well. And there's a couple of spots that they have property-wise where there's like extra benches and tables and whatnot. And you can literally sit on the canal, drinking your coffee, just watching the canal run. It's really dope. It's a hot spot, man. I love living around here. I mean, I'm in the middle of nowhere, but it is worth it.
Beans.
Cool beans. Bean. Cool beans. So cool beans. Cool beans.
Cool.
Cool. I fucking love Andy Samberg, bro. I really do. Lonely Island's hot as shit too.
Still got to see Community. Cool.
Dude, I was what's the? Yeah, that's I don't know, man. I think we had a deal on this. I said something about you have to watch something with me, and then I would watch something with you.
I've watched a couple of things with you since then.
No. This is a more recent deal where so I'm supposed to. I think you agreed to watch all of the Slap episodes in order, not so much in like one sitting, but all the Slap episodes.
You've already showed me all of them, haven't you?
No, I think you've only seen like 2 or 3 of them. There's 7, I think.
You think?
We've
already had this discussion.
No, because it might be 6, but I think it's 7. That's one. I think it's 7.
It was from the time it was first mentioned, so it may have happened like halfway through an episode or something.
Well, so the Slap episodes are noted as episodes in which it's not even just because there's other episodes where it's talked about, but these are ones where literal slaps have been given. That's what makes them slap episodes. So physical slaps, I mean, they don't actually, but in the show, the make-believe of it.
I'm curious, is this something from the writers that started out as a gag, but it just kind of went and went and went? Like.
So, and here, dude, so How I Met Your Mother is to me, it's one of the few, like literal few series where from episode 1 to whatever the last episode is, there's congruency, nothing's out of order. It doesn't feel like they're making stuff up. Like it almost seems as if they really had a full
history,
it was every season episode. Like the whole thing was already written out more or less with progressive timelines and everything. So much so that it's it just as they went to do it, it's just like this is the episode and you can almost pre-plan stuff. Like I mean. I think they did that possibly as they were working around the 2 different actresses that when they were pregnant and shit.
Do they have a group of writers that work on that show?
Carter, I think it's Carter Bay and all them. The same ones from they did like 2.5 Men, I think, and Big Bang and all that. I think so.
Because they usually travel as a particular group that works well together, right? Those writers, like they don't just randomly throw guys in a room. It's usually.
Well, so I would say I think they're more of the storyline writers than the physical dialogue, even though I'm sure they do interject and there's like, yeah, no, this is what he or she would say. Like, this is the, so they would have very specific points, but I think they do the overall. So they just get top billing as writers because it's their, it's their project. So,
but is there, I don't get the impression there's a lot of ad-libbing in that.
Yeah,
it's like it was all word for word.
Pretty much, because there's so many jokes that are wordplay and then jokes on jokes, to get the running gag out of it, but with a twist to it. So it's just like, see what I did there. So it's very intelligent. It's very thoughtful and thought out, I feel. So yeah, that's why I'm like, to me, that's one of the few series that has ever done that. So just on that level, I absolutely love this, this show. Just because production-wise, it's dope.
Word. I have enjoyed the episodes that you showed me, so I will say that.
But yeah, no, I think so. Again, I think the agreement was if you watch all of the slap episodes in correct order, then
I have to complete that. Like how many hours we talked that would buy me a couple movies.
Well, no, like 20 minutes a piece. Think about that. If there's 7 episodes, 20 minutes a piece, it's only 140 minutes. So 2 hours, 20 minutes. So 2.5 hours a year.
All right.
But the contingency is you doing that for me. I have to watch Community with you or watch it in general or something. So somehow or another, I have to actually, and it's not like just an episode. Like I have to watch Community.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. Does that mean I get to select 7 different episodes or?
I
just
took
watch
it
the first season, or
I took it as I was supposed to watch Community, which I think there's 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, I have to check again, but I don't know. You got the keyboard, but
oh yeah, because we're Sans fact checker.
That needs to be on a T-shirt, but
yeah, that's another How I Met Your Mother. It really is. It's what I mean. Wait, what am I looking up? How many?
How many episodes of?
I was gonna say how many
Community?
Seasons. See this, you have to be able to
6.
speak while I'm doing that. See, this is why we needed the fact.
Well, no, because now I'm enthralled. Like this is the first time I actually get to look.
There you go. Yeah.
It is the green room, so
I know, right? And it's like large as life. Yeah. For those of you at home,
6.
I've been talking about doing a new studio setup. I finally did it. We now actually have like a full round table. It's an octagon, but it's a round table.
Which is suiting. Really, it should be a round table.
Oh, yeah. Well, this way we can all actually face each other, as well as we have
Arthurian tradition.
We have larger monitors, and they're close up on us now, so we can actually read what we're looking up. Which the next step is to be able to get JD to piggyback this so that she can pop stuff up on our screen.
Take over your screen kind
of
thing.
So either come in on my computer and use mine from like hers. So like link up network wise, from afar or whatever and take over, use mine as a slave, and then she can do whatever on that screen. And so she can still have all of her stuff at home, and then she can pull ours up as well and have that
a VPN type thing or something like that, or I don't know.
VPN is when you're trying to hide your IP address, which we could care less about that. We're not buying stuff on the black market or getting into crypto coin or any of that shit.
What if I wanted to?
Well, then go do that on your own time, man. This is studio equipment. This is used for work only.
Right.
Oh.
But don't touch it like that. I was splashed the pot.
I splashed the pot. Yeah, right, dude. Well played, sir. Well played, sir.
You haven't even touched your food.
Yeah, but no, I really do. Yeah, I agree. This is a much more suitable studio setup for us.
Yeah, having the distance that you can't actually strike me when desired.
Yeah, you're right. That safety for you is pretty good. Yeah, I
Keeps
definitely
me from flinching and then like smacking my face into the mic or something.
We do need to get some more sound material in here, which I was thinking about. Just one, we do need a rug because we got hardwood floors here, so we still get a little bit of reverb, but luckily I can clean that up on filters and stuff. So
clean that up in post.
Yeah, well, I mean, all I do is just run it through. I have a preset template for it on my audio program. I just load this in, and then it just takes it, cleans it up a little bit, bumps certain frequencies so that we get a cleaner sound. And because our system runs straight recording, like it doesn't do anything. It's just it takes in what it does.
Fancy. Yeah,
yeah, and the fact that we have decent equipment means that it picks up a little bit of extra stuff. But
yes, decent equipment.
But yeah, no, I'm able to get it so that we have the right kind of bass and frequency in that set, so that it's not. Well, because before with the other system and the other equipment, I didn't have as great ability to do that. Sometimes we had too much bass. Remember?
I started listening to the OG episode.
Yeah,
the first one.
Yeah, frequencies
and
vibrations.
Yeah, it sounds like we're far away.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it is horrible.
And that's only part of it. The other part of it is you can clearly hear the difference now because you can hear all the outside noise. Because there was no way to baffle it.
Well, not truly baffle it.
Right.
There's that one picture of us where you can see the canvas hanging in the background. Like that used to be our.
Like you need to put a cone on the front of it.
Yeah, dude, and we have like pop mics,
like a dog after surgery. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But dude, that was fucking iPhone and dynamic royal omnidirectional. Well, actually, they were supposed to be, but they were multi. It's all good.
Multipass?
Yeah, Lilu multipass. They fucking were. That's what
we didn't. We need to salut.
That's what.
Plancha.
Yeah, I was gonna do it, but I figured you were gonna do it, so we both literally like mid chug, almost about to drink, just stopped and looked at each other. I was like, yeah, one of us was gonna say something else, but I didn't do it. I didn't play that game. But yeah, no, we definitely. I got to get some more sound deadening up in here. I want to get a nice rug under here for the wood floors. That would help as well.
Yeah.
Plus, it'll be nice to curl our toes in.
I'll be encouraged to take my shoes off? Wow.
Bro, you should be taking your shoes off in this house anyways.
Is the floor made of rice paper?
No, it's just the fact that I don't wear fucking shoes around the house.
Ninja training school? What's going on?
Sometimes I do. Maybe it is ninja training school. No, dude, I kick my shit off.
You make me wear wooden sandals or some shit?
Dude, that reminds me of like Pai Mei shit where Uma Thurman is... her hands just beaten up from doing the 2-finger 2-inch punch, and she's just where you set up 2 fingers back and you just wham, just like slam into it, and her hands are just like destroyed, and she goes to pick up the food and eat it by hand, and he's like whack, smacks her. He's just like, yeah, you either do it right or you ain't getting no food, and she's sitting there just like, fuck yeah, dude. That's how. But think of that's what.
Wake up from nightmares, punching the walls when her hand was already hurt.
Oh like, yeah. Oh yeah, but like clock the wall though. It's just like
smash.
Like, it feels like the wall was just like, ow, bro. Like, dude, you actually got some force on that. Holy crap. But that's what like monks do and stuff. They like same as Muay Thai fighters and stuff. They just like beat up certain parts of their body so that you get past the mental capacity of what it feels like.
Wow, and also you're building up a thick layer of callus all over your body, end up like a lobster on the front half.
Yeah, your body starts to generate the cells and fashion to do this, because after 7-10...
your skin's like armor.
Basically.
There's no soft and supple.
That's why Muay Thai fighters, man, they get in there with one of them legs. That shit hurts. They
use cocoa butter?
They could snap a leg, bro. Like, they can literally kick your leg so hard they can break your leg, like, just kicking.
Do you think they use cocoa butter?
Over there, probably not. Dude, your accents are horrible.
I'm trying to get you to do it. That's why,
bro. There is no try, only do. These are the words of Yoda.
Put the lotion in the basket.
Oh, your friend didn't put the lotion in the basket.
Every time your friends come over, Sorry. Green room.
Dude, I'm telling you, him is like a freaking bathroom attendant, like a nice hotel or some shit. You know, Le Chez or some shit restaurant in like the fucking downtown city somewhere. That shit would be fucking hilarious. Because I mean, dude, yeah, you literally
Greeting people at the door.
Was that
Greeting people at the door, like telling them how nice their skin looks, and
oh, you obviously moisturize. That's good. I mean, dude, he would be. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Because they actually have all of those baskets like up on the counter, and there's like colognes, and there's aftershaves, and different toiletries and whatever else. And
you could totally work it in.
yeah, and he like hands you a towel and stuff. And
I mean, when they don't put it back in the basket.
oh, you're supposed to put that in the basket. It's just like, oh, sorry. Yeah, dude. Think about that. What if that was actually his job? We could do this for the freaking show. That's his day
He's like
job.
a doorman or a bellhop or something like that, or
No, I'm telling bathroom attendant.
Bathroom
Because it
attendant.
just makes it funny because then there's so many basket jokes. You know what I mean? Either that or he works at like a weaving store. Like, oh, what is this basket for? Oh, you put the lotion in it. Oh, I'm sorry. Flowers. It's like, what? What the fuck's wrong with this guy? Yeah.
does he run the store with his best friend, or
I don't think that's what I'm like, dude. Christian Sidehug's got a. I feel like he's like.
he doesn't have a job. He's like
you gotta like talk to the mic, bro.
He doesn't have a job. He donates his time to the needy.
But see, that's what I was like. I feel like he's got like a church job or something.
Yeah.
So he makes like $8 an hour and works like 60 hours a week. But but Jesus loves me. So it's all good.
All my money goes to charity.
I know.
I don't need it.
Yeah, that would be.
Until that fateful day. I mean, he didn't need it, but
I don't know, either that or maybe you're right. Jesus has forsaken me. Why, God?
there's a sock on the.
Yeah, but now he knows, dude. Sock on the door. You don't go in. Better knock first. Either that or cover your eyes or some shit.
Don't touch that sock.
Yeah, that too. That's probably that too. Yeah.
Wailed in.
Oh.
We're sounding pretty good though. Oh, you really got to be up on these mics.
Dude, I've been telling you this for over a year. I've been telling you this shit for almost 2 years.
Like you have to almost be like ready to kiss it.
Yeah, in a sense. Well, I mean, that's where you're going to get the best quality. Because then otherwise we get too much of a gap off of it that you really get the reverb. You start to pull a lot of the room reverb. And I can't really do too much with that.
So if I'm trying to do voices, I should really put my mouth really close to the mic.
Did you put it in your mouth, bitch? You know the rules.
Get up on it.
Yeah, exactly. I've been telling you this for years. Fucking huff at me. It's not my fault you're a slow learner. Jesus.
I'm gonna sip my soda.
That's it. I'm just going to drink more. Yeah, I get it, bro. I make people drink too, apparently. I'm all good. I mean, I do technically sell beer, so.
It's one of your jobs in life, so.
Yeah, which I saw this, so this
Pretty cool job to have. I'm the beer guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, there are worse ways to spend your days.
And getting paid.
Yeah, and I mean, between that and other stuff that because I'm always working as many angles as I can. Like, I'm always hustling something. I usually have like 4 or 5 jobs, so I'm like doing trivia and side gigs. And yeah, hey, how many jobs you got, boy? It's 7. Oh, he's a good boy. Yeah, no, that's the way it works.
That's a good boy.
Yeah, right.
I was 12 years old. I had 3 jobs, man.
3 jobs. Dude, actually, I mean, when I was, I had a couple. But I mean, so because of all that, I mean, we can do this. I can go golfing pretty much all the time. Golf twice this week. That was nice. Actually went to the range and like warmed up before I played today.
A lot of nice weather lately.
Dude, today was freaking gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, Monday, the one spot I played, it's just from the heat we've been having lately was all cooked out. I mean, most of the fairways were just shit. But you know, if you could,
You played a full round both days.
oh yeah. I always play 18.
So how's your consistency?
So that's been my, but
It's kind of like a cottage cheese, sort of, just like a.
well, so here's the catch with all of this is I've been seeing my coach, my second coach, and working on stuff. Which when you work on things change. Which means you have to adapt your swing to it so that you're getting the correct form, and you know, because you can't. Nobody has the perfect swing, and if all you do is focus to get that perfect swing, which most coaches try to give you, you know, they'll put you in these jigs and stuff, and you know, it makes you get the right swing pattern, or you can use like hula hoops, and it's like, yeah, you can cookie cutter this, and you know, probably be pretty decent if you really get at it, but most of your pros that really stand out, the ones that like can score hard and always, they play their way. There's something unique and different about them where they just, so I mean, a true player is going to have some sense of form, and you can teach that, but you know, you're really going to have to stand out and do your own thing, you know? And so as I'm working on stuff, which I'm doing a shit ton right now, but you know, this, little that, little, you know, back and forth, you don't want to make crazy changes in multiples because then you're chasing yourself. You know, you gotta, if you're having an issue, you gotta get yourself consistent on that issue.
You no longer have that set up at your folks' place?
No, because my kid took it as a freaking parking spot.
Right.
Because my dad's like, oh, you weren't using the stall. I was like, because you can't put shit in it. Like, I can't use it if it's fucking stored. Like, oh. Which I have, I mean, I think I'm going to yank that mat from him. So then I'll have two mats here, and then I can do stuff outside and inside, which is great. But yeah,
couldn't you set something up like that outside that would...
Yes and no.
You just wouldn't want to leave it in the weather.
Well, the other weather mats, they can get rained on all over. My bigger thing is I'm not trying to deal with golf balls because there's traffic and houses, and so I would use.
Oh, if you let one loose,
right? So instead, I could use that one mat outside because it's large enough and durable. Because it's a. I mean, this one's pretty good, but that one's like a real deal.
Did it bounce out at your folks' place?
Well, but there was a full net there, and yeah, there was occasionals like.
But that's what I mean. You couldn't have like a full net set up somehow outside.
I don't want that because I'd have to put it up, take it down,
and get cruddy.
You store it and do. Yeah, I'm not having that shit. What I can do though is using that big mat. Put my tees in there because you can get they got like 2.5ers and 3 inchers, so they stand up pretty well. And I can just practice full swings and just use that tee as my ball. And as long as I'm popping that and just like funk, you know, I'm hitting it well, kind of gives you a good idea of how well you're hitting. But that's why I use this one in here is because it taught me how to get, like I was saying, you got to make these corrections and then work off those corrections. So one of my issues is one, I was always chunking stuff, meaning hitting behind the ball. Mm-hmm. But two, when I was striking well, my angles were almost always too shallow because I was trying to basically scoop them. So I was trying to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, that's a shot, but that's not what you want to be doing on everything. So I've been slowly getting better and better angle of attack, as it's called, which means I'm not coming in as steep. I can come in more shallow. Like I can actually like change up my lofts so I'm working on all these different things. And as I'm doing it, my consistency has changed in every different piece, you know? So lately what it seems to be is I'm now at a place where my swing's getting consistent enough that I'm actually using the wrong clubs because I'm off by like 30 or 40 yards. So my clubs have started to grow like 20, 30 plus yards on carry. Plus you get run out. But I mean, a lot of holes where I was using my lower clubs, like a 5 or a 6, because they were only getting me like, you know, my 150, 160. Without swinging, because I'm not trying to kill it. I swing like 100-ish, you know, swing speed. Nothing crazy, but enough that stiff shafts really help out because you don't get any flex and the head's not going to twist on you and you can really like get at them basically. But making better contact, better angle of attack. Now all of a sudden, like I was saying, each club's jumping like 20 or 30 yards on carry. So a lot of my time, my issue is I'm picking the wrong distance on clubs and I'm going over shit. Or I'm slightly off left or right and carrying too much distance that now all of a sudden it's just like, oh,
You're
shit.
in the rough.
Dude, not even in the rough. I'm on the other hole, and I'm,
oops.
Which, I mean, even if I'm only 120 yards out from the pin and I'm sitting on another fairway, which happens plenty of times, if I have a clean enough shot, I got a club that'll get me that distance easy peasy, whether I got height out of it or not. So whether the green's elevated or below me or, it's like, I don't give a shit where the ball's at. I got a shot for that.
When that stuff happens, do you take a drop or you play it where it lies?
Play it where it lies. It's only when it goes out of bounds and shit like that that you gotta.
Well, even if it goes into the fairway of the other hole?
Yeah, it's still a fair ball. It's still live. Yeah, the rules don't tell you that you have to be on your green or your fairway. I mean, yeah, you got to score on your
play
green
space. Yeah,
you're the entire course, other than areas that are marked as out of bounds or under repair. There's a couple of different things in that sense, but the entire course is 100% live outside of predetermined locations, which are all set up for how the course is supposed to play, or like I said, sometimes the ground's under repair and you just got to deal with that shit. But
excuse me.
But yeah, no, my right now my biggest consistency issue is I'm getting better, and I'm learning those new distances and getting building greater confidence in those distances, as well as my ability to control my ball.
Density.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I've been working on, because I mean, when I got into this, I went to my first coach and was just like, bro, I'm going to do this shit. And he told me there's no way in hell and tried to talk me out of it. And for good reason, because I mean, to try to go pro is some serious shit. Like that's a claim is hard as fuck. There's only so many golfers in the world that can actually go pro and play.
Well, I mean, you could always dabble in trying to find yourself a sponsor.
I don't give a fuck about any of that. No, what it comes down to is you got to be good. You got to play. And as my first coach put it, he's like, this has to be your job. He's like, pros go to the gym and work out for this stuff. So they're doing like yoga and weightlifting and cardio, and like they're getting themselves in condition. Like they're being pro athletes. Not all of them, but quite a few. That's what they do. And they're playing 5, 6, 7 rounds a week. They're going to the range 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week. I mean, they're just running drills, playing rounds, and all they do is golf, golf, golf. And that's somewhere I've been into, because I mean, my first year, that's when all the shit happened and there was nothing going on. So I could literally go out and play. I was playing 5 to 6 rounds a week. I was going to the range like 3 to 4 times a week. I was practicing here, putting, doing all sorts of stuff. I went from a 120 plus to, mid to upper 80s consistently. And it took me like 7 months to get there. But it was 7 months of practicing like a pro does. Go and see your coach, working on stuff, going to the range, working on stuff, getting course time and just playing.
I mean, I get to some extent too, like just eventually you'll get to the point where, like, even if you just give it 80%, you can still, you know what I mean? Like you can maintain. But it's just the most important thing is that you don't.
Well, and so
you don't lose yourself in the game. You know what I mean? Like you maintain your. And
that's my thing was, in that first year, I only did 6 days a week. So I would always take one day off a week. And that was usually like Sunday, because that was like family day, go to family dinner, take the day off, just not do shit. Wake up late, kick it on the couch, just let everything, just no golf whatsoever. Don't watch it. Don't think about it. Just family time. And I mean, it paid off. But that's the thing is, so where I'm at though is having that first coach teaching me all these different things. So knowing how I modify stuff, what it does, and then what I can do to counter that and get my swing and correct, playing as they would call it. So my club face and everything as I come across to strike the ball is ideal. And it's just, I'm at a place where I've been correcting so many things and really putting that shit together that it's, it's that thing that stuff is really starting to come together. So much so that regardless of what the course is playing like, you know, most people, oh, it's like this, and it's like, you know, they want to blame. Dude, no, you don't get to blame the course. You know, I mean, that's the thing about golf. You can't lie to the golf course. You can't cheat the golf course. You know, it sets the rules. It sets, you know, the pace. It does everything. It's you against the golf course, and a little bit of, you know, chaos and Mother Nature, but.
Right.
So regardless of what shape the course is in or the greens are in, dude, you still got to play. Like, you got to learn to adapt, work with it, and modify. You know, and that's pretty much where I'm at, is trying to play on that level always. But yeah, no, the dope thing lately is I've gotten more relaxed, and I'm actually carrying further distances. And not by little. I mean, I'm literally getting on the average 20, 30 extra yards carry. Because, I mean, all of a sudden now, I'm in a place where all of my clubs, and I mean, literally, like, from my driver through my hybrids to my irons, my wedges, like, all of my clubs literally carry 20, 30 yards minimum on average. It's ridiculous. Which is good, though, because now I have a little bit more versatile bag, meaning that I have better yardages within all my club sets, so I can, because I mean, there was a few holes where ability wise I should be playing the further distance, and when I do, you know, there was quite a few spots where I felt like I was reaching for stuff. Like, I'm just like, this is the max end of my club. You know, I'm giving it all I've got, Captain. I can't give it, you know, so it's like, now being at that place where those clubs all of a sudden carry that extra 20, 30, it's like, holy crap. It's like, not only can I reach this, but even if I fluff it a little bit, if like I chunk from the backside, it's like, I'm probably still getting pretty damn close. So combination of all those things, I've been playing further and further back. I'm playing from what's called the tips. I play the furthest back tees.
Right.
Which on average is 65 to 7,200 yards.
Okay.
At course length. But yeah, and it's it's a good feeling being able to step up to certain holes, and typically all of the hazards are placed in a manner that it pretty much puts the average golfer right into harm's way. Dude, they're designed that way. So you either need to be able to play correctly and know your distances. I mean, in general, you should be, or you should also be able to have like super long ball, at least for your first, you know, your drive, because then it usually takes most of those hazards out of play, and it doesn't matter.
The limit of my experience was pretty much like links golf, and dude, I'm on top of it. I'm not getting any closer to the mic. I'd be behind it.
I heard that about you.
Was it Links Golf on Xbox? Yeah, on Xbox.
I don't ever played that one.
Nah, that was a good one.
I always I do
like Tiger Woods or Outlaw.
Well, that's when friends are over. We play the Outlaw, but
Outlaw I thought was easier to use, but not. It didn't feel as accurate. I mean, it was more cartoony. I like the Lynx was at the time, I think, one of the better ones, and it's really similar to the Tiger Woods version.
Yeah, well, the analog stick, like up and back.
Yeah,
backing up, left and right.
But what was it, Outlaw? If you were playing in a group, like you could jeer your opponent. I think.
Oh, you like talk shit or something, and it was just like
it would feed a meter that would like mess him up if you did too much.
Yeah. I remember that shit. I don't know, man. I started playing basically just the Tiger Woods games, but it's because I'm literally practicing course management. You know, I'm checking distances. Because the game takes into account ball lie. So whether you're uphill, downhill, flat, little left, little right. So it takes all that stuff into account, plus wind and, you know, slope. And I mean, it's pretty freaking realistic. So being aware of those things and keeping that in my mindset, that's why I play that, is because it very much just keeps me in that rhythm of like, all right, let's go through the checklist. What's the lie like? Boom, instantly looking at that. All right, cool. Where's, what's my distance? Do I have any wind that I'm dealing with? All right, cool. What's my green approach like? Is it open? Is in a back spot behind a trap? Like, you run through your list of, all right, what's my smartest, safest shot? What's my guarantee that even if I'm off a little bit or a lot of it, I'm still in really good position.
I got good enough for a while at links that I could hold my own in a battle, and like I would actually practice like what I thought were difficult rounds to see if I could, shave off strokes. You know what I mean? Right. On a particularly difficult hole. Like I got pretty hooked on that game. I got relatively good at it. I'm not gonna say I was the best, but that was a relaxing game to play. So I guess I kind of get it. I know it's not the same, but
well, I mean, it kind of is. Golf in these, to me, golf is it's me versus me. I mean, like I said, it's me versus the golf course and, nature and all that kind of stuff. But that's me versus me still. I'm still, for the most part, in control.
Yeah, you're not really playing against the other players per se. It's like, it's more, if you think about it, it's,
To me, it's the same as shooting pool. I'm not shooting my opponent. I'm shooting me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's up to me to be the best on what I'm doing, that I could care less how my opponent shoots, because they're not going to get a turn or, a turn that they want. Like, I should be in that control of the table. I mean, that's what every player should be going for. Same thing with the golf courses. You should be in control of that course. I don't give a shit what the condition of that course is. Play it as it is, man. Figure it out. Adapt it. Get to it.
Oh, so you'd work with whatever leave you were given?
Yeah.
In pool? Like, because you got to deal with it. You're just like, all right.
Absolutely.
All right, guy.
Well, so even so much so that when I like practice or play with my lesser experienced shooters on like my teams and stuff, or just, friends or whatever, typically, they mess up and you get what's called ball in hand. You can just put it wherever you want. Dude, I'd be like, nah, just leave it there. Like, I'll just play it from that spot. Yeah. It's like, hey, we're practicing right now, right? Yeah, cool. I'm going to practice this like it's a defense. I'm going to try to kick at this thing, try to make it in, or, snooker you a little bit, tap it and run up, or, whatever I'm doing. But yeah, if you want to get better, you have to play for better. You have to practice for better. You have to think for, I
remember for a while I was going out a couple nights a week, and to this bar around the corner from my wife's parents' house when I was staying there. And I'd end up playing a guy, like an older guy, that would shoot on league night. So the table was open. They had left one table for practice open at all times, and he would just call me out on a game every time he saw me.
Was that this spot on Street Road?
I think so, yeah.
Big heads.
Yeah.
Warminster. I know that spot.
And he's a decent player, but like he would challenge me. He'd be like, "You play me in a game, but like you have to attempt a bank on every shot. Like, I don't care if it's sitting right in the pocket. You have to bank the cue ball. You have to do something to make it difficult for yourself." He's like, because we're practicing. We're not playing the easy game,
Yeah, that's typical practice on like league players. That's a common, at least for the more advanced shooters or ones that are trying to advance as well. Yeah, it's like that's the common way to play it, where it's just like you gotta kick at it, bank it, do a kiss, carom, something, or like you got to play with it.
I don't care if it's a straight on shot and it's an easy one.
Yeah,
I mean, unless it's a rail shot, because they can be hard. Sometimes
Shouldn't
I like
be.
to practice rail shots.
Shouldn't be.
Oh, if you get your angle just a littlest bit off, though.
Nope. So here's the deal. Depending on where the ball's sitting at, so whether it's on the rail or not, dictates what you can do to play with that to get that ball to run that rail.
Or like right English?
Well, it depends on what side you're on.
Yeah,
what side you're kicking from.
Right, left,
Well, yeah, because what you're trying to do is
220, 221.
You're just trying to get that ball to have basically at that point forward spin, but one that sucks it to the rail and it just wants to go that way. So even if you're off a little bit and it tries to kick, it should still just pull itself right back into the rail and run it.
That's right. You do the Roadrunner and you just push the ball into the pocket. That's how you do that one. Depending on how the ball is lying.
Yeah, because that changes, because
if the ball's already on the rail, I always had a tough time with, but that's the perfect way to attack it is.
Well, not even so much that, but also, and that's the thing is you got to be aware of is like, hey, am I going to hit the rail first or am I going to hit the ball first? Or is the ball frozen and I want to hit both at the same time? Or, all of that. You just
like a nice gentle follow through top left English across the right rail.
Well, you don't, but that's the thing is you don't
just come right before that ball and that would totally work.
You don't need to give it anything other than just a little bit of side spin. Like, dude, and not much. Like, you just enough so as that ball wants to roll towards the pocket, it also wants to pull itself into the rail. So it has no choice but to run that way.
It gets glued to the rail. That's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's been times where we've gone out to shoot on tables and the table is not exactly level. And, it's like, dude, this is a slow roll ball, but it's also on the side of the table where it's going to pull itself off that rail. So it's like, especially when it's going super slow because gravity just takes it at that point. So my guy had to like legit give it so much freaking spin to keep that ball just like rolling down. And so it was like a shit ton of English. I mean, no power to it, but just a shit ton of English. And it was
right. You're not killing it. That's the thing.
Because you want the English to transfer, so you're
giving it like low to medium power and just following through to give that extra English.
There are very few shots where you actually have to like.
I miss shooting all the time.
I mean, maybe, dude.
It's too expensive anymore. Like for me to.
I don't know about that.
Just save up and like buy a pool table or something.
Dude, they're not that expensive. And, I got friends
That's not really even the worst problem about it, though. It's where to put it.
That's what she said.
Like, you have to build a special room. Because I refuse to have one of those little short sticks in my collection.
I heard that about you. Hey-o.
Anyhow, like decent full-size cues. You know what I mean? Like 18 or higher ounce, whatever. Actually, in the 20s were always good. Nice, heavy.
See, that's on you and your style of playing. You know what I mean?
And I grew up playing on a house cue.
Hey, I always believe a true professional doesn't blame the equipment. So I don't care what the table's like or what the same thing. That's why I'm like, I love golf.
If you bring the right gear, like if you're able to fix like a bad tip on a house cue, which actually where we played was never an issue, but like you bring all your equipment with you and you can actually play a decent game on a house cue because there's consistency. If you're used to it, that's the whole point of bringing your own cue somewhere. Because if you play at multiple places, you want to make sure that it's consistent. It's the same type of cue every time. It's yours. That's what I always felt like. It didn't necessarily, as you get better, it makes sense to spend more on your cue. Especially, back in the day, some people, that was their hustle. They'd make a couple bucks every time they went. They never had to pay for their games. And
I, on average,
I can see you like cracking up over there.
Well, no, I'm thinking, on average, I want to say
you'd walk out with more money than you had when you walked in.
Well, so it was easy for me to be at some point go through the hall. I want to say like 6-7 days a week, like whether it was before work, after work, after school, like.
Well, you remember all we did before my mom got involved and made me get a real job. All we did was, wash dishes during the day and shoot pool at night. Like that was our thing. That was my thing anyway.
Because at that point,
was my second home.
Well, yeah, dude, my car was paid for. I didn't go throwing my money around like crazy. All I did was just hang out and shoot pool. And yeah, honestly, maybe 1 or 2 nights a week, I might have actually like paid for my table time. But that's because maybe I was like there during the daytime and there was just no one around. And you know, I played for like 4 or 5 hours. So, but you know, at that point, you know, two hard dudes works. It was just like they're like, "Fuck, get out of here." You're like, all right. So I mean, sometimes you can't even fucking pay, you know. But I don't know, because I was doing all the tournaments and shit, and like I was in the different leagues and stuff.
I just thought of something. You gotta open up a club called the Pool Club, and it's got like a couple swimming pools, some hot tubs, like an outdoor area,
some James Brown,
and then like all billiard hall on the other side. But you can you have a nice bar on the one side. Get yourself a fancy drink. There's like tables and the rail that goes all the way around. Dude, that would be a nice little spot. You know what I'm saying?
I
mean, without all the Dave and Buster's hoopla, you know.
But I like the hoopla.
I mean, it can be fun, but you know.
How many pieces of flair? If you want me to wear 23 pieces of flair, I'll wear 23.
I mean, you could have one indoor pool and hot tub, one outdoor pool and hot tubs. You could do the summertime thing. You could do it through the winter, and it'd just be the Pool Club. So you have bars and dance club, pool. I'm telling you, this could be a thing.
Dude, we went from 2 rooms to now we got 3 rooms.
Sure, why not? Why not? There's got to be some. Yeah.
Is there a wet bar at the pool?
Why not?
With a TV?
With a TV and a bar. A nice stretch job with a TV and a bar. I'm
telling you, if it's poolside, I mean, you know, that's kind of dope.
No, that's not dope. Because I was hanging out for like 2 hours. And none of them got up to go to the bathroom. I got up like 3 times. And it was warm when I came back. Like, it was warm.
You gotta get that blue dye in the water when it fucking... Oh my God, that's fucking... Dude, that's hilarious. I'm sorry to hear that,
Was
man.
that an Adam Sandler movie?
Standing in somebody... Oh, where they actually had the blue dye?
Yeah.
I think it was Grown Ups or Grown Ups 2. I think it was Grown Ups 2.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Well, no, it was one of the Grown Ups. Could have been the first, might have been the second. I don't know.
This is the green room.
It jumped up and bit, man.
It did no such thing.
I'm also getting used to it being on this because it's usually on my left. Now the
dude, what do you think though? Right. The Pool Club. The Pool Club. Get it?
You're just not gonna let this go, are you?
I mean, I would check that place out. That's what I'm saying. I want a place like that around. That sounds like it would be pretty cool.
You gotta push your glass. You gotta push your glasses up when you do that. That would be pretty cool.
That would be, yeah. Thanks a bunch. Making me sound like Poindexter.
I mean, dude, if it quacks like a duck and it waddles like one, it's probably a duck.
Is it? I mean, it's just a good thing we're not at smacking distance.
For you.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Dude, bro.
You've
only raised your hand to me once, and it was after you had started taking karate with wifey for like, I want to say like close to 6 months. So you were feeling kind of confident. You were just like, whoosh, and I was like, bah! You're like, what the? You came back, I was like, you're like, what the? You like went for the double. And I was just like, bro, could we not, right? And you're just like, what the hell? You walked away. You were just like, what? Yeah. So after that, I think you realized,
Sifu.
I got you at this point. But I mean, I also was taking Taekwondo when I was younger. So, I did that for almost 5 years.
Did the sparring as well?
Oh yeah. Well, because
you're supposed to. I mean, that's one of the pillars.
I was technically 2 belts away from getting my black belt, even though I should have only been 1 belt away. It's a really long story, and I don't feel like telling it right now because it's not even the point.
Was this Taekwondo with kata? Was there kata?
Oh, I mean, well, we would call them forms, but yeah. That was, the English obviously for it, but I was taking lessons from a 2nd degree black belt that was taking lessons from a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo.
So you actually have to go through black belt 4 times to get to that point. Like, start all over again and go to the basics and work your way back up again? Or like, how does this, or is it a whole different degree that you're learning?
As far as I'm aware, as you step up degrees, you step up mental ability, I think is really what it, because then you start to talk about harnessing chi and things of that nature. These are, you know, the
So
higher.
could you actually throw a fireball?
I don't know if they can do plasma balls. They never showed us that. But, I mean, we had instructors that were like second and third degrees. And I mean, these are the guys where they're breaking like broomsticks over their neck, like whether it's like at their throat or, you know, on the backside.
Dude, you know what was crazy? I was just thinking about this just now. That I got to meet, I don't know if you've ever heard of George Dillman, but he was like, he was 9th degree and would have been 10th degree, except he was waiting for someone to die at the time. In some dragon chi art form, like some kind of crazy, I forget exactly what it was called. I'll have to look it up. Well, you could look it up, but he did some weird stuff with us about basically energy work and using that with you're right there. Got it. I had beer.
I'm out of liquids.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I got some coffee left if you want.
I'm okay, thank you. We're almost, so we might as well. It's okay. Anyway, so you were saying?
Oh, that was it? I think it was like the triangle of destruction or something. Was this thing that you described, and it had something to do with your emotional state when you go into a fight. And I don't know how much truth there is to it because I never bothered actually doing my homework on it. But apparently, the more, like, if you have a group of people and another group of people, and they're both really angry with each other, they can beat the snot out of each other, and you don't really have a whole lot of fatalities because it's like a hard surface meeting a hard surface energetically.
Right.
But that if you go beyond that, beyond anger into, what was it? Like basically crazy. I forget the term that we used to use now, but for this description, like it was that. So it starts at anger.
Berserker.
No, the next one is where it's emotionless. Like you just don't care. You're just functioning in this, like you just are the art at this point. Like
Kung Fu Panda.
You're just kind of crazy, like laughing, basically. Like it's psychotic. I think basically it was having a psychotic mood. Like it was all about what kind of energy you're giving off during this and how great an effect that has to do on your opponent. Depending, like if your opponent's angry and you're angry, you're both going to be solid objects. So you'll have a lot of really badly bruised and broken bones, but like you won't have a whole lot of fatalities because...
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting you.
Because they're both angry. But if you have someone who's basically, I don't know if they use the term psychotic, but that's basically what we're talking about. Somebody who's got a psychotic temperament at that moment. Like if you harness that mood where you're basically
bloodthirsty Viking,
like you'll break somebody's neck and laugh, kind of psychotic. Like that takes it energetically to a higher point, right. And it's harder to defeat you. So even if somebody's angry and coming at you, it's just they're more brittle. Like it's easier.
Yeah, it's just a game to you,
right? Whereas you're coming against somebody else who's also laughing psychotically, then it was this weird thing. And then the final one on the pyramid was actually, I think, remorse gave you the most power.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it was a really strange thing. It was
it's a sympathetic and empathetic energy where it's like, why are you making me do this to you?
Exactly. And it's like that was the most powerful, that would beat them all. It was like rock, paper, scissors. Well, that was the one that just couldn't be beat.
It was Spock. Rock, paper, scissor, lizard, Spock.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, dude, that's how was it?
And anyway, he did this with me just to finish off the story.
Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead, yeah.
Sorry. He called me up and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm there, I stand up, I pull my gi down and I'm like, I get it attention. And he's like, all right, and he's still kind of talking to everyone in the classroom, but he's gripping me up, and he's, thank goodness we got this volunteer, and I'm just going to show you.
You're
like, I want you to just stand firm because I'm going to punch you in the face. It's okay. I'm a trained professional. It's not a big deal.
I don't think of it so much as like a slap as it is a high five to your face. is what he told you.
So he said, I want you to focus on a spot over my shoulder. Like, he's standing right in front of me, basically, like with his one shoulder back. Like, he's ready to really give me a full, you know. I mean, obviously not 100% because he would kill me. But
I mean, you're weak at.
Like, he was doing it at like a 1. Basically.
Do we have like?
But we're still talking about it's the speed that gets you. It's the speed that kills, man. When somebody strikes you and they've been training forever, like the kind of strike where they don't even make a fist until they're actually near your face.
Well, I mean, Bruce Lee was trying to take the energy from his toe and send it all the way up into his fist. Like, so when
that was the same type of thing.
Yeah. You're harnessing your chi as you're grabbing this energy, and
your fist isn't tight until like the moment it strikes the object that you're trying to punch, and you're not punching the surface of the object. You're punching behind it.
Oh yeah, you are.
And
bro, I know. But go ahead.
So anyway, he has me stand here.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch you in the face,
and I'm basically like, he's like, get in a good solid stance because I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm just like, I mean, how do you like? I'm looking around the room, like
anybody
with a concerned look on my face. Like, is anybody gonna back me up here? Like,
they're just like looking at the ground, like I don't know you, bro.
I'm like, all right, I'm tough. He's like, focus over my shoulder and just think about something that makes you angry. Just get pissed off. He's like, just focus on something and let me know when you're ready. So I do this, right? Like, of course, I'm all,
what were you thinking about?
I just had like an hour workout, so I'm all like, I'm all bouncing around and I'm energetic. And
what were you thinking about that made you angry?
I don't think anything in particular. I just decided to put on the red. Like sometimes,
Hulk smash.
And I just stared over his shoulder and just like,
I hate you.
Like whatever the thought was.
Punch me in the face. I'll fucking punch you. I'll kill you.
And tensed up. Well, loosely. You don't want to really tense up because then you'll really get. And he punched me in the face. I want to say gently, like I said, at a 1, maybe like a 0.75.
Well, true black belt can control.
Very, very controlled, but fast.
And they zop. That's crazy.
That's crazy. So 2 or 3 times, it was actually.
How many times did he push you in the fucking
2 or 3 times. No, real quick. I'm talking. Poof, 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 like real quick. And he said he was going to do it. He's like, I'm going to warn you, but it's not a big deal. I'm not really, and I'm going to hit you with the same power, but I'm going to change my attitude. Like right now, you're angry. Focus on your anger. You got it? Okay. And I'm going to be angry and I'm going to attack you. And he was just trying to prove a point. And like, yeah, I took the punches. It was no big deal. I hardly felt it. It was like you feel the jolt, but like you kind of go with it and, no big deal. And he goes, all right, now I'm going to turn it up and I'm just going to laugh and I'm going to strike you. And I just remember same punch. And mind you, it's like a 1, or a 0.75 in power out of 10. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he hauls off and hits me. As he's laughing, I can hear the laugh like reverberating out the top of my head, opposite where he struck me. Like basically on the bottom of my chin. I could feel it pop the back of my head out. Like he blew my mind. I was like, blah.
Okay.
Just from one soft punch. And I was like, holy crap. And I think, of course, this is also somebody who does energy work all the time too. And it's not the kind of thing you believe unless you see it.
Feel you on that one.
You know what I mean? But
oh yeah.
And even then you're like, how the hell is that possible? Like he would have, so, okay, he did this exercise. He had a bunch of us stand in line and each each person, each student is holding the student in front of him's shoulders. So you're all looking at the back of each other's head, basically. You're in a line. And you're all looking away from the George Dillman that was doing this thing, right? So you can't see what he's doing, but he actually, from the back student. So imagine you've got basically this centipede of students. Don't think about the nasty centipede. I'm talking about standing up, holding the shoulder of the person in front of them, like connected, right? They're in a series right now, right? Energetically. And he stands behind that row of people, and he basically forms an energy ball on the back of, like, the low back of the person in the back of that row. And basically, and he's standing like 8 feet away. Like, he's not touching him.
Right.
But he's doing energy work where he's creating an energy ball, and he's pushing it and focusing it the small of their back, to the point where as he's pushing, he can feel the give of the surface of that energy bubble that he's created. And when he gets to that point, he keeps putting energy on it and warming up the area and kind of pushing against it to kind of create a wall behind the person's back.
Okay.
And right about when he feels them settle into it, he would just pull it away. And it was the funniest thing to watch, because you watch that chain reaction go from him and everybody else up the line. So everybody in line from the back all the way up to the front went, oh, and fell back like a step and a half.
Or like they lost their balance.
And nobody was watching. It wasn't like I don't know if you could practice doing something like that, but it was all students of the school I was at. So it wasn't like we knew what was going on.
Right. Maybe they were just mind fucking.
And he said at the time, told us in class that night, which was a special class that we had to pay extra for.
Oh, special class?
Like, it was this guy was, like, they had to pay for him to come in.
Yeah, you know what you mean.
He flew in and all this other stuff, and they
were his arms tired.
They had to pay for his stay and all that other stuff. So, it cost money.
Yeah, it costs money. Easy walking.
So I paid.
Tell the story.
I actually paid to get punched in the face.
Guys, if you think about it, you fucking.
I paid to get punched in the face like 4 times.
Like 4 fucking times. Oh my god!
I don't remember how much I paid, but you think about it. That's
because you got punched in the face.
Divide that by 4. It was like I paid $15 a punch in the face.
Was that one of your concussions?
That might have actually fixed something. I'm not sure. The force is strong with this one.
Oh my! Fucking kill me, Smalls.
I'm on lack of sleep, caffeine, and beer. So
yeah, well,
but yeah, it's. I guess we're probably running over now. So
no, we're not. Probably we already have,
but
and should probably start wrapping this up.
Well, it's good because it was a good one.
And they're always a good one.
It's always a good one. All right, bro. Well, thanks for joining us, y'all. This has been another Green Room with your host, Mr. Gemini.
Philly D.
Clickety clack, fact check
missjd.
And
dude, she's got way more. She's like clickety clack and back. Dude, I don't know. She fucking rolls with it.
Please join us on the ITY side if you got time on directionsinmusic.org.
Yeah, Wednesdays at 8 or
Wednesdays at 8. Yeah,
or always you can just flip the button on the YouTube
and check out the YouTube.
Well, yeah, I mean,
hooked up to it.
Yeah, ITY Studios. I'm telling you, you can look that shit up
and write to us. ITY directionsinmusic.org.
That's all for 3. That's you, me, missjd.
Or individually at GEMINI at directionsinmusic.org.
Yeah, I'm Philly D, PHILLY. Directionsinmusic.org.
All right, well, it's been cool. Catch us on the flip side. And
push that button, swap over to DIM. Either way, be good to yourself, be good to everyone else.
Much love.
Birds.
Peace.
Peace.